Hello, we're playing with the print and play version of Tiny Epic Galaxy by Scott Almes using the Anywhere board game Google Hangout app. This is not a step-by-step tutorial video, and the gameplay video is actually recorded ahead of time. I'm using 4 dice to begin with, setting the colony action as my first activated action to upgrade my home galaxy. And the second action, moving a spaceship, and I'm choosing to go to the second planet. And the third action I'm activating is to gain the culture resource from that planet. And that was all for my turn. The rogue galaxy rolls each dice and then resolve each dice if applicable. The first action they resolved was gaining culture, and since their home galaxy counts for either energy or culture, they just chose to have 4 more culture resource. Their second action is home colony action, which is to steal 1 energy or 1 culture from the other player, which is me. And they have reached their max culture resource, which will be resolved at the end of their turn. Their third action is not applicable, so they can't use it. Their fourth is gaining energy resource, so that's 4 energy, 1 for each of their ship. By the end of their turn, they can steal 1 energy or 1 culture from the other player, as well as having 3 more action because of their maxed culture resource. Steal 1 culture from me, but they can't have any more in the same turn. And then just roll 3 more dice, 1 at a time. Again, they can't really use it because they're at their max. And they roll the second one. They can't really use it because they don't have any ship on any planet's orbit. Again, they can't use it. But once the 3 extra action is done, they reset the culture resource back to 0. And it's my turn again. So I'm going to move a ship. This one is easy to colonize. It just takes 2 advancements. So I'm going to choose to have a free reroll. You always get 1 free reroll. So my second action is to advance the colonization on the second planet. You just move that planet card underneath your galaxy card so that you can refer back to the victory points at the lower right hand corner, as well as the special power that they give you. Unfortunately, Google Hangout has a size limit, so I can't really fit everything neatly here. Next action, diplomacy for the third planet's colonization track. So I'm one more diplomacy away from colonizing that planet. Now it's the Rogue Galaxy's turn again. Their first action, they can't use that one, so it's wasted. Second action is to steal one energy or culture from the other player, which I don't have, so they can't really use that action as well. Their third attempt is to gain energy, and they have 4 ships in their home galaxy, so they get 4 more energy, but the max they can have is 5, so it's going to trigger an upgrade action at the end of their turn. The next one they activate is culture, and they get 4 more culture. They couldn't use that one because they don't have any ships on any planet's orbit. It's the end of their turn. They're going to steal energy or culture from the other player, as well as upgrading their home galaxy. So they upgrade, and then energy resources reset back to 0. Now it's my turn again. I'm going to use diplomacy to colonize this planet. And once again, try to fit the card underneath the home galaxy card and make it easy to see both the victory points and the special power of that planet. And you draw a new card from the deck of planets to fill in the gap. Next action, I'm going to try to get energy. So 2 more because of the 2 ships in the home galaxy. I have my first free reroll. I couldn't use them, so it's wasted. Now it's the Rogue Galaxy's turn. They can't use that one, so it's wasted. They're going to gain 4 more culture, which max out at 5. They just get 3 more actions at the end of the turn. They can't really use it because they're at max. Colony action, which is to steal 1 energy or culture from the other player. And since I only have energy resource, they take 1 energy resource from me. Their next action is diplomacy. They don't have any ship in planet's orbit, so they can't use it. Now we are at the end. They're going to steal 1 energy or culture from me, and then resolve the 3 more action bonus. First one is diplomacy, but they can't use it because they don't have any ship in planet's orbit, so that's wasted. Next, they're going to move a ship. And they always go to the leftmost planet first. That's unoccupied by their own ship. Next ship goes to the next planet from the left side to the right. And that's the end of their whole turn. And it's my turn again. So my goal is to try to get as much energy as possible to upgrade my home planet. I think that's faster than trying to colonize planets. I'm going to activate the upgrade action and spend 4 cost of resource to upgrade the home galaxy. So now I have 3 ships to use instead of just 2. And I'm going to spend 1 energy to reroll. Any reroll after the first free one will cost 1 energy per reroll of any number of inactivated dice. So I get more energy and I upgrade my galaxy again. Each time I upgrade the home galaxy, the victory points goes up, as well as number of dice and number of ships. So it's important. It's the rogue galaxy's turn. They're gonna gain 2 culture for their 2 ships in the home galaxy. They're gonna do it again. Oh man, they're gonna do it again. So they maxed out at 5. They will have 3 more actions at the end of their turn again. Economy, advancement for all of their ships that are on the orbit tracks that requires economy. That's their 3 last turn. First, they're gonna steal resource from me, and then they're going to have 3 more actions. First one, home galaxy ability, which is to move one of my ships back by 1 on a planet's orbit, but since I don't have any ships in orbit, it's unusable, so it's wasted. Final action is to gain 2 more culture. Since all of their orbiting spaceships are not orbiting the planets that produces culture resource, only energy resource at the moment. So because my home galaxy is high enough level that it gives me 6 dice to use per turn, that's why I'm rolling 6 now. Going to gain 3 energy and doing that again. I don't want to use it then because I max out my energy resource at 7. So I won't get 8. That will be useless for now. I'm gonna wait and just have my first reroll of the 3 other dice that hasn't been activated yet. When I reroll, I can reroll any number of dice and not all of them that hasn't been activated yet. So I'm putting aside that energy action just in case I want to max it out again. So I rolled just 3. I'm going to move a ship to an orbit or maybe to a planet. Yeah, this one is easy to colonize because it only takes 2 advancement. I'm going to spend 1 more energy to reroll 2 inactivated dice. I'm just thinking about whether to use the special ability of those planets or not. But I'm just first going to max out energy resources and start a colonization track on one of the planets. The downside of landing on a planet is that you can't move the ship to the colonization track for 2 turns. You have to go to a different planet and then come back to this planet's orbit. I decided to go to the first planet and steal 1 culture from another player. That's the end of my turn. Rogue Galaxy rolls their first action, which is to move a ship to start on a colonization track on the leftmost planet that hasn't already been orbited by their own ship. So then they advance their colonization for all planets that require economy. Their next action is to move another ship. So now all of their ships are trying to colonize planets. All of their ships that needs the diplomacy method will advance by 1. So they colonized that planet before I did. And my ship had to go back to the home galaxy. Since rogue galaxies do not use special abilities of the planets, I just need to show the victory point so I can count. And they colonized another planet. The next action is to gain energy. So they have 2 energy for their home galaxy and then 1 energy in one of the planets they're orbiting. So they get 3 more. They maxed out at 5. The upgrade will be resolved at the end of their turn. They will steal 1 energy. But since it's maxed out, it's not good for them, so they're gonna steal culture instead. They're gonna upgrade their galaxy. The next turn, they can use 6 dice. My turn. I'm going to upgrade my home galaxy first since I have enough energy resource. So I will pay 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. So I have 2 energy left. Now I get the final spaceship to use. My next action is to move a ship. I have to consider the special ability of each of the planets, as well as trying to colonize them. The victory points for colonizing those planets are 7, so they're pretty expensive. Maybe it's better to just use their ability instead. Using 2 special abilities, one to repeat an action, and one to advance a ship by 1 on a colonization track. I'm using 2 diplomacy to advance the colonization of the 4th planet. I'm paying 1 energy to reroll the last inactivated dice. Again, I'm using diplomacy to advance colonization. I have to do it fast because the rogue galaxy has a special ability to regress my ships, and I paid my last energy resource to reroll that last dice. And I'm going to spend it and use one of the colonized planets' special action to regress 1 opponent's ship by 1 economy. Now it's the rogue galaxy's turn again. The first action is to advance one of their ships by 2. And they're going to move the one that's closest to completion, so 2 on the second planet. Their second action is to advance 1 economy method. So they're going to colonize this planet. And they get 7 victory points for that. So now they have 10 plus 4. They have 14 victory points. The last 2 turns they got energy resource and they moved a ship. The last action is to gain culture, so they have 3 more and they maxed out at 5. So at the end of their turn, they're going to steal resource if applicable, and they're going to have 3 more actions because of their maxed culture resource. The first one is to advance by economy, but they don't have any ship in orbits that uses economy. And their second one is to get more culture, but they're maxed out at 5, so they can't use that either. It's wasted. Their last extra action is to advance all of their ships that are orbiting a planet that uses diplomacy for advancement. Now it's my turn again. So I'm gonna use diplomacy to advance the ship orbiting the 4th planet since I'm so close to colonizing it. That way I can send the Rogue Galaxies ships back home. And I'm going to move this planet's card underneath all the cards I already have. I want to see that special ability. I don't think it's applicable in this case because Rogue Galaxies do not follow my actions. If I were playing against another human player, then that special ability would be useful. So, next action, move a ship from the planet's surface to another planet's orbit. I'm going to use the energy action to gain more energy resource. I'm going to spend 1 energy to reroll. Spend 1 more time. Because if I don't spend, it will be stolen from me anyway. Use diplomacy to advance. Now it's the Rogue Galaxy's turn. Gain culture resources for the 3 ships in their home galaxy. They're going to use diplomacy method to advance their colonization of the 1st planet. They're going to get more culture, max out at 5. They can't use any economy. Gain more energy for the 3 ships in their home galaxy. Max out at 5 energy. Their last action is diplomacy method. They're going to advance that ship on the orbital track. By the end of the Rogue Galaxy's turn, they're going to steal resources and upgrade. And then get 3 more actions because of their max culture resource. Next time they can use 7 dice. There are 3 extra action. First one is to gain energy resource. 3 ships in the home galaxy and another orbiting a planet that produces energy, so they have 4. Remove a ship. Activate their colony action, which is regress 2 of my ships by 1 on the orbit track. I just have 1 ship, so they just move that ship back by 1, back to the starting point. Now it's my turn again. And I get to use 6 dice because of the level of my home galaxy. Diplomacy first to advance colonization. get some culture that I can use to follow Rogue Galaxy's actions. Most of the planets to colonize are still pretty expensive. So I might just get more culture and use my first free reroll. And definitely going to colonize that planet before the Rogue Galaxy does. It's only 2 points, but it's still good if I can use that special ability. So I'm going to shift that card underneath, make sure I can see the text and the victory point. It's basically a free reroll. Move one of the Rogue Galaxy's ships back by 1. I can move them either by diplomacy or by economy because I have both powers. Those cards by themselves only have 1 victory point, but I can use the special ability, which is helpful. So the Rogue Galaxy uses 7 dice to roll because their level is high enough. They gain culture resource. They can't use that for their advancement, so it's wasted. Again, wasted. They're gonna take a colony action, but since I don't have any ship in orbit, it's wasted for them. So they move a ship to orbit, and I'm going to follow their action that they just took to move a ship into an orbit. This is why culture is useful. Any of the Rogue Galaxy's action that doesn't apply cannot be followed. So those economy dice that I put aside, because they cannot be activated, so I cannot follow those actions, even though they might help me in some cases. So their last action is to use diplomacy for their colonization. That's the end of their turn. They're going to steal a resource. They steal my cultural resource. And now it's my turn again. I still only use just 6 dice. Economy to advance colonization of the 4th planet. So I do it 3 times. Move along the track by 3. Get some energy for the 3 ships in the home galaxy. And then move a ship to orbit and advance it by 1. That's the end of my turn. So now I have 16 victory points in total. But the Rogue Galaxy has 17. So they're going to perform their home galaxy special ability twice by moving both of my ships back by 1, and then they're going to advance and gain culture resource. I cannot follow any of their current actions because I don't have any culture resource. They have maxed out their culture resource, so they're going to get 3 more actions at the end of their turn. They can't use any more culture action because they maxed out. I keep moving back my ship until they cannot move anymore. Advance 1 more by economy track, and now it's their end of turn actions. They steal 1 resource. They maxed out their energy resource as well. So first they're going to resolve their max energy bonus by upgrading their galaxy. That will give them 10 more victory points. So 10 plus 10, they're at 20 victory points right now. And now they're resolving the max culture resource, which is 3 extra action. The first one gives them energy resource. That's their last level of a home galaxy ability, which is to move one of their ships forward by 3. That's why they can colonize that planet. And at this point, they have 23 points. As soon as they reach 21 points or more, they win the game. I think even if I'm trying to get more points, the best I can possibly do is to upgrade my home galaxy to the highest level, but it's still not enough because it's 11 points plus 8 is 19 points. 19 points is still less than 23, so I think I lost. Alright, thanks for watching.